4 secrets, okay, this is kind of foundational stuff, 4 secrets of successful marketing. And these are kind of just the foundational lessons you need to know before you kind of dive into the how-tos, because if you don't, you'll never get to where we want you to eventually get to, right? Where you're standing up here talking about your $158,000 profit deal, okay? We want to make sure we get you there. So number 1, can anybody tell what number 1 is based on the little slogan or the little logo that gives it away?
Just do it.
Just do it. That's right. Just do it. And I know this doesn't sound like a revelatory, like this massive revelation, this earth-shattering point to you guys. But trust me, you'd be amazed at how earth-shattering it really seems to be, okay? Because as I've been coaching people and training people and teaching people how to do this business for 18 years, it's amazing to me how many people will listen and will say they're going to do it, but don't actually ever do it, right? Because it's so fun to talk about, but when you do it, it's actually work, right? And when you do it, sometimes there's failure. And when you do it, sometimes there's some tweaking and some changing and some things. It's not always, like he said, John stood up here and said, you know, it's 3 months and nothing had happened yet. Man, for some of us, it's gone a lot longer than that before business really took off. And yet we have to kind of stick to it and keep going and all that kind of stuff. And yet most of us, the issue is not head knowledge. Of course you need marketing head knowledge. And we're going to start talking about some of that next month. We're going to give you the how-tos. We're going to give you the tips and the tricks and all that kind of stuff. But I've found out that that is important, but man, it's not the most important, because I know a lot of people that know all the head knowledge about how to market and find motivated seller deals, but they just don't do it, right? This is really about implementation. This is about behavior modification. That is the thing that makes the biggest impact in the difference in your business. That's why I've been so stoked. I told the group in Mobile this last week. I've been so stoked about this 30-day flip challenge that we've been in the middle of. Some of you guys, we got about 50 of you guys that are doing the flip challenge. My goodness, I feel like in some ways I've stumbled onto something. For those who don't know, it's like 30 days of challenges, and I'm giving them daily teachings and then giving them a challenge, go do this. And don't worry if you missed it, we are going to do it again in a few months. But I have been amazed at how it has moved them. They are getting on there and commenting, and we did this. I mean, it's just those daily challenges that have pushed them to get out and drive for dollars and to make phone calls and to send direct mail and talk to sellers. And I mean, it's amazing to me that just kind of giving them that step by step made all the difference in the world. So and a lot of it, there's some new stuff that I teach them, but many times it's nothing they probably haven't heard of in passing before, but it's that challenge that got them to finally do it, and now they're seeing some results, and they're seeing some leads, and they're meeting with sellers, and they're like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. Just doing it makes all the difference in the world. I have a lot of people, right? I've again, doing this for a long time. To a lot of people, real estate investing, they've seen a seminar, they've watched an infomercial, whatever. Real estate investing is just this month's or this year's lottery ticket. That's all it is, okay? We love to, like, you know how the lottery gets up to like 100 million or 500 million or gets like really crazy, and even those of us that never play the lottery still go buy a ticket just because, right? And when you get it, what is the whole point of it? It's just a dream. You know you got a better chance of getting struck by lightning while you're contracting coronavirus on an airplane than you know, ever winning, and yet you still do it, right? Because it gives you like 3 or 4 days to sit around and go, man, if we won, I would do blah, blah. That's worth $1, you know? That's worth $1 just to sit around for 3 days and be like, man, can you imagine? I mean, right? So that's what we do. And oftentimes for a lot of people, real estate is that thing. They'll come here and they sign up and they come to the meetings and they'll come for 3 or 4 or 6 or 9 months. And to them, real estate investing is just something to talk about that they're going to do one day. Oh, we're going to get started. Oh, in a few months, we're going to do this. It won't be long before we're doing deals like John Cho and making $150,000. And it's just something to dream about, right? It's this year's Noni Juice or Mary Kay or Amway or whatever else you've signed up for that you dreamt about for a few months but never actually did, okay? It's about doing it. So again, while you guys might think that's not a big point, I'm just going to here to tell you, I can give you all the steps and the how-tos over the next few months. If you're not going to commit to actually set aside an hour a day to start implementing some of this stuff, we're just wasting everybody's time, okay? And so again, everything works, and I want people to understand that. I can't tell you how many people have called me and said, I want to know what to do for marketing. Like, what is the one thing I need to do for marketing? And there's a couple of things we tell beginners to do, because certainly driving for dollars with utilizing Deal Machine and Bandit signs, those are kind of a couple of those early things that seem to give people success pretty early on. Most beginners that do their first deal, that seems to be kind of the ways they find most of their beginners. So we'll give you a couple ideas, but let me tell you something about marketing. I've seen all of it work, and I've seen all of it not work.